Major funding for this program and for the related college television course Brain, Mind, and Behavior is provided by the Annenberg CPB Project. Program funding is also provided by the James S. McDonnell Foundation, supporting significant programs in education, research to improve human life and global understanding, agencies of the U.S. Public Health Service, the National Science Foundation, and Ciba Geigy, science serving mankind in medicine, industry, agriculture, and the home.
Humans are closely related to many species of animals. We share nerve structure with the squid, brainstem with the alligator, and emotional systems with the cat and rat. 98% of our genes are exactly like those of a chimpanzee. And yet, we are unique. We seem to be the only species that communicates symbolically in complex language and that plans in intricate ways for the future. The difference is due mainly to an amazing network of cells that in our species has reached an astonishing level of development, the cerebral cortex, the outer layer of the brain. In this program, we'll explore its wrinkled and divided landscape. The divided brain originated about 100 million years ago in the first mammals. It evolved slowly. Then, with the dawn of man, the cortex began to develop more quickly and helped change forever the nature of life on Earth. Scientists are now exploring the secrets of the divided cortex. They have examined what each hemisphere does and how the two cooperate with each other. They're studying sex differences, left and right-handedness, the effect of culture on the brain's organization, and the neurological roots of language, all to discover the special character of the human brain. We are like no other animal on Earth. We shape our environment to our liking. We give form and substance to our imagination, in words, in pictures, in clay. Anne Nicole is a gifted French sculptress. When she works, her hands take orders from her cortex, the hallmark of our species. Anne's hands are tools, but the seat of her creativity, of her drive to mold this clay into something more, is her brain. The cortex, the wrinkled outer layer of the brain, orchestrates talents and skills. It's a network of nerve cells. Music, language, mathematics, problem solving, and face recognition all are activated here among the billions of neuronal connections. The human brain is an organ made for discovery. It explores, it synthesizes, it takes pleasure in creation. The part of the brain most responsible for this activity is the neocortex, which has developed fully only in the last 1 million years. The secrets of our most human qualities lie hidden in its landscape. The two halves of the brain may look alike, but they're not. They're asymmetrical. They don't have identical skills and abilities. Each side has its own way of knowing the world and processing information. By and large, each side controls the opposite side of the body. When you move your right hand, the left side of the brain is at work. When you move your left hand, the right hemisphere is in control. Most people have a dominant hand, a sign of the brain's asymmetry. Most Most mental functions, like language and spatial skills, are generally housed in one hemisphere or the other. This division of responsibility makes evolutionary sense. Harvard University's Dr. Norman Geschwind.
It's been increasingly clear that each half of the brain has lots of specializations, so that what's going on one side is different from what's going on in the corresponding area on the other side. Now, the advantage of that is that it simply increases the intelligence, if you will, because if you've got an area which is specialized on one side for, let's say, things related to language, it's advantageous to have the area on the other side be doing something different, because it adds one more string to your intellectual bow, so to speak.
Normally, both sides of the brain work in concert. A massive system of fibers called the corpus callosum carries impulses to and from each side.
Have a silver clip ready, please.
In the early 1960s, surgeons revived an old technique of cutting the corpus callosum to control massive seizures in some epileptics. The operation works. It also provides an opportunity to study the different properties of the two hemispheres.
Right hemisphere is gently moved away from the midline.
Vicky is a split brain patient. Because of her epilepsy, surgeons severed her corpus callosum. But now her right hemisphere can no longer communicate directly with her left.
I knew what I wanted to wear, and I would open up my closet, get ready to take it out. My other hand would just take control. It would reach in and get something that I wouldn't want at all. You know, and then I get, I don't know, frustrated, and I throw the one on the bed that I don't want. Instead, a lot of times I can't even hang them back up.
This antagonistic behavior between hands occurs only right after split brain surgery. It takes special testing to reveal the different processing styles of the two hemispheres. Vicky is tested frequently at Cornell Medical Center by Dr. Michael Gazzaniga.
Okay, look right at the dot.
Okay.
The tests are designed to send different kinds of information to each hemisphere.
I simply want you to describe them to me. Just name the picture you see.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
So get ready and look right at the dot. Fixate the dot. Look right at the dot.
Football. Shoe. A woman. A person.
What else?
A girl, that's all.
Okay, I tell you what. Open your eyes. Your left hand. Right what she was doing. Close your eyes and just let your left hand go.
Vicky's right hemisphere doesn't have the language to describe the whole picture, but it can express itself through her left hand.
Good. What did you write?
Skipping rope.
Huh?
Skipping rope.
Skipping rope? No, let me show you what you wrote there.
Telephone.
Yeah, what was she doing?
Talking on the telephone.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Good. Perfect.
Vicky saw the picture on her left. It went to the left side of both eyes. The visual information then traveled to her right hemisphere. It understood the picture, but could only say, woman. Then she was instructed to write using her left hand. Her right hemisphere directed her hand to spell out the other feature of the picture. Dr. Gazaniga asked what she had written. The left hemisphere tried to guess. It had not seen telephone, so it searched for a word somehow associated with the image it had seen. When both hemispheres saw the written word, the left, which had heard the right say woman, could now give a complete description. Woman on the phone.
In Vicky, we are able to test the separate functioning of each hemisphere by the special kind of lateralized testing that you saw. In particular, in the case where we present visual information in her right visual field, which is over here, that information is projected in her left hemisphere, which is the normally dominant language and speech system in you and me as it is in Vicky. That means if I flash a letter over here, she can normally name it, a picture, or anything else. However, when you flash the same kind of information in the left visual field, which goes to the right hemisphere, you find that Vicky is not able to easily name it because of this structure having been sectioned. The communication between the two half brains has been eliminated. How about another one here? You're doing just perfect. Oh, this is a good one.
I don't know how.
Both hemispheres respond to the words. The left triggers her smile, the right makes her clap.
So what did you see that time?
Both sides receive the command at the same time, but the left side can communicate its awareness.
Am I supposed to be seeing two birds in this?
Well, you never can tell. Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Talking, listening, responding to words. These are expressions of verbal awareness. For most of us, the left hemisphere specializes in verbal information. It's capable of understanding a word as a series of sounds arranged in a meaningful sequence. But language in the left hemisphere is far more than a system of communication. It's a way of knowing the world.
Shadow-tipping Bach.
It's very nice.
Virtually everyone learns to speak and understand, and with instruction, most people learn to read and write. All human brains have a biological potential for language. Its foundations are laid in the womb, and we begin to build on them as soon as we're born. Our parents act as models, and we learn in predictable stages as experience changes the physical wiring of the brain. The languages can be Japanese, Swahili, French, but they all reshape the brain's original wiring, turning the potential for language into the ability to communicate. The area for language on the left side is more densely wired and even structured differently than the same area on the right. In 1861, Paul Broca discovered the left hemisphere's role in language. This brain changed the course of neuroscience. It belonged to a stroke patient nicknamed Ta. He was given that name because Ta was all he could say. After Ta died, Paul Broca examined his brain. Because Ta could not speak, Broca concluded the damaged part of the left hemisphere was responsible for language. It's now called Broca's area. Ta's brain was recently rediscovered in a Paris museum. Scientists x-rayed it with a CAT scan. The black area in the left hemisphere is where the damage occurred. We now know that Broca was largely right. Damage to Broca's area does disrupt language.